Hello, this is Tree Hugger Dude. I just wanted to make a quick video about something. I am so proud of myself because I guess I have taken on the project over the past few years of learning how to be more versatile in my sexual life. Historically, I was more passive, and I had kind of set this goal for myself as I entered my 30s to experiment more and embrace the topping side of myself. And it has been a whole journey, a whole process, but it's been really great. I'm so happy that I've made progress and now I can feel comfortable topping somebody, and it doesn't give me as much anxiety as it did before, and I perform much better than I did before. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that process. So for me, I know that pornography was something that had negatively impacted my life for many years. It was something that shaped my sexual desires at a young age when I discovered it around 13. And it was something that had become a huge part of my life because as a student, I was always studying and I wasn't really partying or socializing or having sex. And I was also wrecked with desire to hook up and be sexually active. So for me, masturbation to pornography was kind of almost like a vaccination to allow me to continue to focus on my studies and not let my desire kind of take over and distract me. But all that pornography, I definitely feel that it did desensitize me to the natural stimuli around me, and it became a point where I didn't even really enjoy sex. I preferred masturbation because I knew that it would be easier, it would be quicker. I would know exactly how to get myself off, whereas many times if I was having sex with someone, it would be stressful for me in terms of like sexual health concerns, and it would also be stressful in terms of like knowing that I satisfied the other person. And so for many years, I preferred pornography and masturbating to pornography. But ever since I learned about NoFap and I started removing pornography from my life, I noticed that I slowly kind of began to feel more sexually charged and more sexually rooted and connected, more connected to my sexuality in general. And I think that was really important in me exploring the topping because it really helped me have the energy and the drive and the motivation to top. Also, ironically, I had a friend who was Moroccan and I would talk to him. He was also doing the NoFap at the time. And as a straight man, he gave me really, really good advice in terms of sexual performance and performance anxiety, which I had really suffered with whenever topping in the past. And he told me that as a straight man, his advice was to be selfish in bed, which sounds like bad advice, but actually for me it was really, really good because I think many times I had over prioritized, or I had given too much importance to the other person's pleasure, and I had completely forgotten about my own pleasure, and so much stress and so much pressure and concern over the other person, whether or not they were enjoying themselves, led to me not really enjoying myself. And therein was the issues with staying hard and satisfying them. So the moment that I, in my mind, became selfish, I think it helped balance the scale in terms of their pleasure and my pleasure. By me focusing on my pleasure a little bit more, I think I was better equipped to please them, and I also was more satisfied with the experience myself. So that involved just me kind of it involved me being really in tune with my body and really letting go of the fear of like, oh, something bad, they're not going to be satisfied, and they're going to reject me, and all the thoughts that would come into my head normally. I think focusing on my pleasure and being selfish was good advice in that it helped me be really mindful and just enjoy myself and that naturally led to a better outcome for the other person as well. So I would say that now, whereas before I was kind of almost exclusively bottom, now I would say I'm either verse bottom or versatile, because I do enjoy topping. I mean, I think performance anxiety is something that can be inescapable, that happens to many people, but thankfully now it's not something that happens all the time or every time. It's something that happens only just occasionally, and for the most part I can perform much better and really enjoy that role as top. So there's that. And yeah, I've had a lot of really great experiences with bottoms, and I still enjoy bottoming myself. Just historically, it's something that I've always really enjoyed, and something that I think I'll always enjoy. But now it's something kind of very special that I don't really do very often, that I try to reserve for relationships where I really care about the person. Just because for me, bottoming is more of an emotional experience and it leads to more emotional connection compared to topping. But yeah, it's been a great experience. So for anybody who is in my position, who is trying to transition from being a bottom to being more versatile, that's definitely something that I would recommend. As my friend told me, I would say be selfish and focus on your pleasure and your experience. Don't lose sight of that in the haste or in the pressure to satisfy the other person. Remember your pleasure and give it the importance that it warrants, and that will naturally make you perform better. So that's number one. Be selfish / focus on your pleasure. Number two is to definitely avoid pornography. I think that I wouldn't have had the power or the strength or the erotic vitality to transition to being a top or to being versatile had it not been for me quitting pornography. And I would recommend, I mean, for someone that uses it every day, I know that it's hard to just give it up cold turkey, but I would say maybe just like a month with no pornography, ideally no masturbation either. Just store that sexual energy, store it, and then when you're with somebody special, then release it. And you know, some sexologists, I think, attribute this, they say this strategy might be bad because it causes premature ejaculation, which is reasonable, I guess, if you're storing all that energy. But I think it's a good strategy that worked for me because I was always very insecure about kind of feeling drained sexually. Of course, after masturbating to pornography every day, you know, of course I would be drained. So I had a lot of insecurity about not having the energy to perform. So for me, NoFap gave me the confidence and the knowledge that I did have that energy, that I had like a month worth of energy. Or I mean, my record was 4 months. 4 months of not having sex or not masturbating, not having orgasm. So I think if you wait even just 1 month, but if you wait 4 months and you give your brain that dopamine detox where you're not oversaturating yourself with stimuli and just blowing your load to constant novelty, all these videos on the web of like the most impossible figures, huge dick and like a huge butt and perfect six-pack, and if you remove that from your mind, I think it really helps you when it comes time to perform. So that's something. And I would also recommend communication. I think that in my experience, it's been beneficial to develop a level of trust and communication with my partner, so that when we're in the intimate moment, it feels like there's this context of trust and safety, and you'd be surprised at how much that can contribute to like having a good sexual experience or performing well. So make sure that you have that communication. Does this feel good? Does this not feel good? Should we try another position? When you're focusing on your own pleasure and your own desire, I think it becomes easier for you to be more directive and say, if something's, because I think the desire kind of fluctuates throughout an erotic moment. So I think that if you notice a dip in and the energy, it's good to be able to take control and to direct the person and say, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? Like if you give them suggestions as to activities that you really enjoy, I think that can really help kind of restore your arousal and help you perform in that top position. And of course, it's not for everyone. Topping is not for everyone. Not everyone enjoys topping. But I think that if this is something that you're curious in trying, I think adopting some of these strategies might be really beneficial for you. And also, in my situation, I knew that I enjoyed it because when I was 18, some guy that I was dating at the time allowed me to experiment with him that way. And I had always kind of remembered how special and how pleasurable that experience was. And it just kind of was burned in my memory, even though it happened like almost 20 years ago. But I always remembered it because it was such a memorable experience. So like if you're similar and you identify as a bottom, but you have topped in the past and you've really enjoyed it, I mean, why not kind of try to explore this side of yourself and get to know yourself better and just have a good time and experiment. I think that it's been a wonderful experience for me. I'm really proud of the progress that I've made, and I certainly hope that other people are able to experience this as well, because it's a great feeling. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below. But for all those bottoms out there that are interested in transitioning to being verse bottoms or verse or tops, I hope this video is helpful for you. I know that when I was kind of trying to transition, I didn't see any videos like this online or in any forums. So I hope that this feels kind of a needed niche, and I hope that it can be helpful to other people. Okay, well, thank you for your time. Have a good one. Bye.